The story starts from a car driving down the country line with the main road going through the jungles. Gilsoo was busy playing a fighting game, unaware of his surroundings or whatever that was happening around him. His dad, quite annoyed by him not paying attention to anything else, told Gilsoo to get off the phone and talk with them a little bit. But Gilsoo's eyes were completely dead as he seemingly ignored his father's word and kept on playing the game. The dad did not push on any further and he just kept on driving the car. Quite annoyed by his behavior, the mother said to at least respond to his father who was asking him to do something, he should just at least answer him. The father just quietly looked at both of them through the mirror without saying anything, observing the surrounding. Knowing that there was nothing that can be done here, it just gave out a big sigh, giving up completely. But Gilsoo was not like this because he was an arrogant son. He was a broken one. He felt that his parents must be regretting having a son like him. A son who is so weak. A son who got bullied really harshly till the point they even put cigarettes in his mouth and burned his tongue. They disfigured his face with scribbles. There was not just a single guy but a bunch of guys ganging up on a single guy to bully him. Gilsoo. He felt that his parents must be regretting having a son like him who got beaten up by literally every single one in his school. Mom, trying to break the awkward silence, said that if the other kids bullied him once again in the new school as well, then he should just quit. She said that he should just quit going to school and stay at home where he will be more comfortable. But Gilsoo knew that she was lying to him. She was lying that she had any intention of having him quit. After all, she begged his father to move to another city just so that they could get into this new school. No way in hell she is going to let him quit. Gilsoo lost the game that he was playing and gave out a big sigh, realizing that he could not win, even in game, let alone real life. Holding his phone down, Gilsoo began to think to himself that if his existence was bringing nothing but pain to anyone, should he just end himself? Doing it should help everyone. So without any more pieces of conversation, the car quietly ran and reached the Six Gates High School. All the Gilsoo knew that he was coming to a new school, but he knew that his life itself was not going to change. He just wanted to run away from everything. Run away from here, away from every single thing, yo. While quietly being guided to the class, he knew that he could not run away. He wished something like a natural disaster like earthquake floods to destroy the school, or maybe something like North Korea invasion. But no way those kinds of wishes could ever come true. As Gilsoo quietly and meekly introduced himself in front of the class, telling everyone that he was not from here, that he was from Seoul. Even though he was wishing in front of everyone, there was no soul in his eyes. He wished the time could just stop, let him free out of these shackles. He wished he could just evaporate, but his trail of self-monologue of self-hate was broken by a single clap directed towards him. Gilsoo looked up to see what this clap was all about. It was the clap of the entire class. The entire class was happily clapping without a hint of malice, welcomed him to their school and wished him for a happy time. One guy, while clapping, told to his buddy behind that they finally saw a Seoul person in their class who was from city. They really had a different atmosphere. The buddy pinched him back saying that, "Don't talk like a country bumpkin." He was making them look bad. Gilsoo was completely confused by this reaction, as he never expected that he would be ever acknowledged like this and was just in shocked state. The class started, and the lunch break came, during which Gilsoo was sitting on his chair and another guy approached him calling out to him. These were two guys. One guy had bandied on his face, another guy had bleached his hair yellow, but either way their faces did not harbor the same welcome that they did before. But Gilsoo knew it very well what this meant. He knew that his life was completely filled with bullying all his entire life, and he could never escape from it. And this was the starting of it from the school. He got reminded of the time when in his previous school, a guy held him from his hair, threatening that he would kill him if he brought the kind of bread he hated. But contrary to what Gilsoo was believing, this guy quietly put his hand on Gilsoo's shoulder with a gentle demeanor. But their faces instantly changed to happiness when the first guy said that his name was Jin. He thought that Gilsoo might not be used to things around the locality, so he invited him to a visit to the convenience store together. And Jin also offered that while on their way back, they will show him around the school as well. Gilsoo agreed, but he could not understand why they were acting like this nice. While in the convenience store, he brought some drinks to drink and realized that this was the first time in his life that he had ever visited a convenience store with someone on equal grounds and not as a shuttle boy. Jean called out to him asking him that had he ever seen big eyebrows like these before, and he said that these might be the main reason his girlfriend broke up with him. Rubbing the back of his head nervously, he said that his eyebrows were charming in its own ways, and to never listen to the words of anyone who demeaned them. So both Gil-soo and Jin and the other guy started laughing while they fought about their eyebrow sizes. Taking a little break, Gil-soo began to think that what was up with this school was everyone in this school this nice. What was he seeing a dream? Being able to sit with friends talk like this, like he always used to dream about. Everyone around him looked so happy, completely devoid of any kind of bullying. Maybe he could also finally enjoy the school life that he always dreamed about. But as he was walking, his shoulder bumped with another guy who was walking in the same way. He did not pay attention, which caused him to crash into this guy. But as the evil crashed, the juice from his juice bag fell over and stained the shirt of the other guy, causing him to look at him in anger. Realized that he had messed up here. The guy started to brush off the juice of his clothes, saying that it completely messed up his shirt. But Gil-soo went into a complete panic, saying that he was ready to pay for the entire cleaning costs, and he does not need to worry about the stains anymore. But instead of getting angry, the guy put an arm on Gil-soo's shoulder, saying that it's okay and there was no need to panic. But this guy gave a really big, warm, bright smile, saying that he really appreciated the offer that Gil-soo presented to him, though. Staring into the air for a few seconds, he was completely dumbstruck by how kind he was, completely opposite of the way his previous school was, because by now he would have been completely trashed into the bin. Looking into the air, he smiled. That maybe, just maybe, he could live a normal life like a normal student in this school. The school finally got over, and Gil-soo packed up his bags to go back to his home. While getting ready to walk, he realized that the vibes here were completely different from his old school, and he was just worried for nothing at all. Everybody was nice, and he was glad that he had moved to this new location. But just then, Jin came over to him asking him about something. With the ominous look on his face, he asked if Gil-soo had any kind of plans for this day. Getting confused a little bit, he answered that he did not have any plans. So Jin answered with a smile that it was really good, which means that they could go together somewhere that he wants him to take. Agreeing to him, Jin and Gil-soo began to walk on the road alone while it was already dark. Getting a little bit tired, Gil-soo realized that they have been walking for a really long while. He wondered where they were going. A little bit worried and curious, he asked Jin that where was he taking him because he has been walking for a really long time. Not even turning his head around, he said that this was kind of practice everyone did, that everybody had to visit this place when they first joined the school. Gil-soo could not understand that what did 21 meant by he have to, as if he had no choice to back out from it. Looking towards his back, he realized that they had been walking for so long. In fact, they were literally reaching the outskirts of the city by now. Now turning around, Jin asks Gil-soo that had he had any experience with boxing or Muay Thai or any kind of fighting art in general. Looking a little bit confused but still ready to answer, Gil-soo said that he had no experience with any kind of martial arts or boxing. Giving a creepy smile, he said that if he had no experience in fighting that, then he needed to have a lot of guts and balls to witness nothing that he was about to see. Now worried, he started to scan around his surroundings when he noticed a really important detail that he had not noticed before until now. Giant's entire body was covered with scars of blades or some sort of weapon. Saying this, he got reminded of the time a lot of bullies had surrounded him with one guy threatening him with a knife. He got reminded of the time when a lot of guys used blades on him to bully. It was his old group from school. Realizing this, cold sweat began to creep from his forehead. Thinking that was he going to get attacked in this place once again like those times? Now, hesitating to go further on with Jin, Gil-soo began to backtrack his steps. Jin turned around to ask what happened. But showing a pained smile, Gil-soo said to him that he was not feeling well this day. He had to leave to tell his parents how his school went. He said that he will come over next time. But before he could even finish his sentence, Jin put a firm grip on his shoulders, stopping him from going anywhere. Now, showing a completely creepy smile, Jin said that they were already really near the venue, and it won't take long for him to go and come back. By now, Gil-soo was completely scared, but Jin tried to reassure him that he just had to come to take a real quick look and go by if he was really busy, and he was absolutely sure that Gil-soo was going to enjoy it. In the middle of the jungle, there was a warehouse with some lights coming in from inside. Jin lamented upon himself by being taken away like a helpless idiot by another bully, preparing himself that he was going to get jumped on. While walking towards the venue, he knew that all of this was a lie. Everything that he experienced till now, the kindness, the sweet smiles, all the happiness that he experienced, all of it was a lie. He was going to get bullied once again and his life will turn hell. Finally, he opened his eyes to see what the heck was in front of him. It was a giant stadium in which hundreds of students were cheering on to the fighters who were fighting a boxing match in a ring. Some kids were supporting one of the fighters by telling him to get the other one, while the other part also gave out their everything to cheer the guys, telling him that he can absolutely beat the other guy. And the guy finally gave a roundhouse kick to the second guy's head, knocking him out. Shocked by all of this, Gilsoo could not understand that what he was looking at and what was all of this. Jin, giving him a small smile, said that he must be really confused as to what all of this was since no one had anything like this in other schools. This was their school's fighting arena, and it was the only one thing, the highest honor that was permitted to them, and to only them only. Gilsoo had never come across anything like a fighting arena before, and it just looked flabbergastedly at it. Just as Gilsoo and Jin were looking at the match, another guy standing from the top of the balcony called out to him. It is a guy with a long hair, and he was Jang. He was the 6th Gates High School president. Jin, with a bright smile, told this guy that the one behind him was Gilsoo, and he had transferred to the school just this day. Gilsoo saw that how big and muscular the chief was and wondered whether he was even a school student. Getting ready into the ring. The orange-hair bleached guy called out to Jin into the ring, saying that he was going to take revenge for making fun of his eyebrows. Rolling up his sleeves, Jin said to just wait and watch as he was going to take care of him in the ring. Gilsoo was surprised to find a familiar face in the group of the crowd. Putting an arm on his shoulder, the president welcomed him to the school. He then introduced himself as the student council president of the 6 Gates High School. Gilsoo was absolutely shocked at just how gigantic this guy was. The soft voice he told to Gilsoo that he was happy to welcome him to the school and he hoped that he had a good time over here. But Gilsoo was absolutely not able to get over the fact that just how big this guy was and just kept staring at his head. Just then he looked around and saw that a bunch of guys were cheering on to a new group of students that were fighting in the ring. It was Jin and the bleached hair guy. Both of them were punching each other out till all of them were knocked out. Gilsoo could not understand that why were both of them fighting. They did not had to fight. After all, they were friends. With a loud scream, the president exclaimed at how good the new fresh air students were and how good the new muscle was. Not being able to understand anything, he just stared blankly at the club president as if he was asking what the hell was all of this. Similarly, as if the president understood what Gilsoo was trying to ask, he turned around to tell him that this was the actual true face of their school. He said that Gilsoo might have noticed by now that they had no bullies outside of this ring in the school or anywhere within the campus. However, it did not mean that they were any less on the amount of violence. It was just concentrated to this one arena and never leaves it. Sparks of realization went across Gilsoo's eyes as he slowly understood what all of this was. With a big, angry smile, the president said that Gilsoo might have gone through a lot of stress throughout the entire day, and this was the perfect place to lay it all out. After all, this was the place where every single one was equal in the face of violence. Nobody was greater or lesser. This is what it meant by the 6 Gates fighting arena. This new concept of everybody being equal in the face of violence was so intriguing that Gilsoo's face completely lit up. The president, now leaning close to Gilsoo, said that he did not like explaining stuff, so he was going to keep it concise, and told him to listen carefully. Rule number 1. Entry was allowed to only the students of the 6 Gates High School. And if anybody graduated or dropped out or was expelled, their entry was denied. Rule number 2. Fight will be one-on-one without any kind of weapons bare-handed. A third person is never allowed into the match ever. Rule number 3. The Student Guidance Council will act as a referee for the fight, and they are the ones to decide to end any fight at any time. And just as the president was explaining all of this to him, some guy walked up to him, calling out to him. It was the same guy whose shirt was ruined before because of the juice, which Gilsoo accidentally spilled on him. He asked, to the big smile, that where he had been up till now. The guy then invited him to the ring to have a fight to make up for the cleaning fee, as it would be much better than any money that he could receive. The president was impressed at the fact that he had already gotten an opponent on the first day. Pushing him forward, he told that he will learn as he will go. But Gilsoo screamed that how was he going to fight in any way? And the fourth and final rule, any kind of violence is banned outside of the fighting arena. Any kind of negative feelings that somebody harbors towards someone will be resolved inside the arena. And this is the most important rule. And he did not need to be scared. He should just go and have fun. Getting into the ring. He thought to himself that how could he ever enjoy a fight after all, when his entire daily routine was to get beat up by others. Plus the fact that no way in hell he could ever stand his ground in front of someone as muscular and strong as him. And in the 3 years that he had been bullied, the only thing that screamed in his mind was that he needed to get the hell out of here or he was going to completely get crushed. But the crowd was completely indifferent to Gil-soo's personal views as they kept on shouting and cheering on both of them to fight with each other. A person who was looking at Gil-soo said that he was really lucky that he had to be picked by Kang on his first day. The other guy, looking a little bit confused, asked that who was this person? Was he someone famous because he was the first year at the school? Showing a more serious tone, that guy said that Kang was the little brother of that guy, and he had come to this year to study and continue his schooling. Now, in the middle of the match, Kang taunted Gil-soo. That was he not going to come because he was going to give him a handicap because it was his first time fighting. But over on the other side of the arena, Gil-soo's body was completely shaking and was not obeying him. He was stuck in his place and wondered why the hell did he had to fight someone on the first day of the school day. Getting impatient, Kang said that there was not all day to wait around, and if Gil-soo was not going to go on the offense, he was going to go, and jumped off the railing running towards him. Still stuck in the same place shivering, he was screaming at his body to move away, move out of his way, otherwise he was going to get crushed completely. But it did not matter after all. The pressure was too much for Gil-soo, and his body's primal instincts started to arise as his body started to reflux all of his food outwards. And the thing that he did literally shocked every single one in the stadium. All of the cheers had completely vanished when even the most farthest person got quiet after seeing what Gil-soo did. Gil-soo had completely formatted on Kang after being unable to withstand the pressure, dirting him and the entire arena with his vomit. Realizing what it was, Kang began to get completely disgusted and cursed Gil-soo for doing this. All the Gil-soo was trying to catch his breath, the audience erupted in laughter. After all, they had never seen someone use a vomit attack before to stop someone in their tracks and found it pretty amusing, whereas Kang shouted to the guys to get him a towel. Gil-soo caught into his lamenting moment once more. He who never had rebelled against anyone. How was he planning on hitting somebody? He could not do it after all. The next day, in the school, every single one was talking about it. One guy said that he felt really bad for missing it, and the other guy said that he should watch the videos that were shot. It was absolutely insane. They were laughing on how the transfer student vomited on the spot and was able to defer the attack. And all of the guys started laughing, but Gil-soo was silently hiding in the toilet, not being able to show his face to anyone. The thing that Gil-soo was feeling now was a mixed feeling of shame and fear. Shame of ruining his image in front of everyone, and fear that he was completely screwed now. He thought that he would finally get a rest after getting into a normal school, but what the hell is a fighting arena? He could not understand how could a school authority even allow something like this? And the worst thing, he felt that nobody hated him. It was just how the school operated. And he got reminded of the time the president told him to not get scared and have fun. Hiding his face, he said that he could not do anything like it. He could not even extend his arm, let alone fight anybody. And something like the last day was going to happen again today. Just as before, his attitude of running away started to pop up in mind once again. Since there was no violence in the school ground except the school arena, he might be saved if he never went to the arena ever again. But on the other side of the school, the club president was doing push-ups with 2 people sitting on him. And he had done already 999 up till now. He was completely losing all stamina after doing for so much, and the last one was the hardest for him, but he still got together all of his willpower. And he was finally able to do the 1,000 push-ups. Just then, Gil-soo was passing in front of him and got completely shocked by seeing it. The president exclaimed, saying that he was finally able to do 1,000 push-ups with 2 people. Next time, he will try for 3 people. And Gil-soo wondered, that is he even a high schooler? No, is he even a human? Noticing Gil-soo standing there looking at him, the president asked that did he need something from him or did he want to talk? Gil-soo shrieked and said that he was just standing there. He had nothing to ask. But realizing that this was one of the few choices he could actually ask his doubt, he said that he had something to ask. The president said that he wanted to say something after showing such a display at the match last night. Few guys recognized him, calling him the Vomit Boy, saying that they liked his fight and wanted him to come today as well. Gathering all of his courage, he said that he did not want to go to the fight club anymore. The statement was so shocking that literally every single one got silent and stared at him. But hiding his face, the president asked why he wanted to leave the fight. After all, he was not injured or band-aided or in hurt. But coming out sincerely, Gil-soo said that he was not injured, but he did not have the confidence to fight a person. And he did not want to hit anyone, and he did not find it fun.